Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. I've got a bung knee, so I'm through doing the primal classes with Brett.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just started a class with him. Then it was more so it's just him and I, and we just start relaxing the muscles and everything. But yeah, so it's just me right knee, so I'll just sort of take it easy on that one.
All right, that's all right.
All right.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So just take it at your own pace. If a stretch is too much, just back off of it. You might be able to get one leg, but you might not be able to get the other leg, depending on how your knee feels.
Yeah. Cool.
Morning.
Morning. It is hot. Guys, if you have any requests for any body parts that you want to stretch, just give me a yell or put in the chat.
Glutes and lower backs tight for me.
What was that? Back?
Yeah, glutes and lower back. So probably the same area. But...
Yeah, Pilates, you tend to use the glutes quite a bit, which then pulls on your lower back quite a bit. So we'll do now, Sean, we're going to do some floor work. Are you listening?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, good. I was like, I just can't see. All right. We're going to do some floor stretches today. So like pigeon and stuff that's laying down. It's not on your back. So obviously the legs are out in front. It can be, I have had people with knee issues say that it's too uncomfortable for them. You can do all these poses. You can just do them on your back. So it's not extra pressure on your knee.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. You can always try for the pose. And then if it's too much, then I'll give you the option to come onto your back as well. Okay. You might be able to get one side, but then just not the other.
Yeah. Okay.
You're just not going to feel it as deep if you're on your back. That's the only downside. But
okay.
I need a hat.
Yeah, I said to Brett, he's been doing that crawling like an animal for all his life. I said, I haven't done exercise for 20 years, mate. I said, crunches and burpees.
Honestly, I can't do them. I can't. That kick sit through thing absolutely kills me. Like, I can see myself a pretty like fit person, but that just, oh my God, is next level pain.
Yeah, it is.
But it's good. It's so good for mobility, and like as we get older, you realize how much, you know, your body changes and everything like that. And sometimes a simple task like bending down and getting something off the floor can sometimes be the most difficult thing in the world. So it's such an important movement to get while you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Guys, if you have any other requests, just let me know. I'm gonna do some legs and some glutes and some lower back. Yeah, legs and glutes would be good. Yeah, legs and glutes. I don't know why, but my calves, like I woke up this morning and it felt like I'd run a marathon. I'm not a runner. Like I don't run. Too much. It's all legs. Now I do have 2 screens today. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the other one. I set up my laptop, but my laptop's very, very old. I need to get a new one, but she's struggling to focus. So you might use it, you might not. You might use this one. All right. Alrighty, no last requests. Anything else in particular that you desperately want to do? Something strange and odd, like, you know, ankle or wrist or something? Now, I haven't actually taught a class outside yet. So I don't know how much you guys are going to be able to hear me. Hopefully you can hear me well enough.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, good. All right, cool. Because I'm just like, there's no walls here to take my voice back to the thing. So hopefully the phone just does it justice. All right. All right, we'll get started. So we'll just start standing. We'll just get into some nice hanging poses just to loosen up through the back of the legs. Hanging's always a good one when you're trying to lengthen through your hamstrings because it's more weight than what you'll get if you're sitting down. So just finding a space wherever you like. Feet are parallel, toes are pointing forwards, and then you can have a soft bend in your knees. So never about hyperextension. You don't want to exaggerate those limbs. I got to mute you. Got to mute you all. All right. No, I'm really talking to myself. All right. All right. So when you're ready, guys, we're just going to tuck chin to chest, and we're just going to slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. So you can do this slow or you can do this fast. Sometimes it's nice to just feel all the bones in the back to slowly roll all the way down. And then maybe when you reach a point where you can't go down any further, let's bend through the knees again and then slowly roll all the way back up. So we'll just do 3 roll downs to start with, just warming up through that spine so we're not taking down straight away. Tucking chin to chest, coming all the way back down again, skipping through that belly, chin is in the chest, coming all the way down to where you feel comfortable on your body. And then bending into the knees again and slowly rolling all the way back up. We'll do one more just the same. So lifting through the crown of their head and then tucking that chin to chest. Slowly rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way down to wherever feels comfortable for you. And then just bending through the knees, rolling all the way out one vertebrae at a time. So we'll go again, guys, and this time we'll add a hold at the bottom. So tucking chin to chest, slowly roll all the way down. And just find that point where you can feel that stretch through the back of the legs. And remember, you don't have to have fully leg extended. You can do this one with bent knees. Now, the hands don't have to reach the floor. You can take the thumbs into the elbow creases. You can tuck into chest. Maybe you want to grab the back of the legs. Whatever feels good for you guys. You can even pedal out through the feet. So take the heels off the mat one at a time. And just feeling into the back of the leg. Maybe popping that whole weight down over the legs if that feels good. It's just playing around with the movement and just seeing how your body feels. Normally the worst kind of part at the start of the day when you're really tight, you've just woken up. If you guys have already done some exercise this morning, you might feel a little bit warmer. And then we're just gonna heel toe those feet a little bit wider. So bend into those knees and take the hands down, just so you've got a nice safe position. We'll heel toe them a little bit wider this time. So we're just taking them out, maybe about the width of your mat. And we're just gonna incorporate some little twisty bends here. So we're just gonna slowly bend through the knees, just shift the weight from side to side. So we're bending into the right, extending through the left, bending into the left, extending through the right, and just swapping it over. So if the hands don't reach the floor, guys, again, you can just take the hands into the elbow creases and just moving through those legs. So just moving from side to side as fast as you like or as slow as you like. There's no rush. You can just take your time. So through the back of the legs and just shifting the weight. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll come back through center. So those legs are partially extended. You've still got a soft bend in those knees if you need to. And then just folding forwards here. So opening up through the seam a little bit deeper. If the hands reach the floor, that's great. If they don't, just take the thumbs into the elbow creases again. And even hug the back of the leg if that feels nice. Maybe if you've got the range, you pull that chest through and under those legs. And then when you're ready, coming back through your center. And then we're just going to take the hands over towards the right hand side. Now we're going to bend into the left knee. So that left knee is extended. And then that left knee is bent, but that right leg is extended. So we're just going to pull ourselves in here. So I've got a soft little bend in that side. Remember, you can have a soft bend in both knees, so both legs don't have to be fully extended. That's your choice. And then when you're ready, we'll swap it over. So releasing through that leg, take the hands over towards the left-hand side, bending into that right knee now. Now you might feel stretch down the side of the body here as well, which can be pretty nice. And just holding through that one. And then when you're ready, guys, coming back through center, if the hands reach the floor, that's brilliant. We're going to heel toe those feet back together again. And then we're just going to slowly sit all the way back down. We're going to take those hands down towards the floor, and then we're going to step those legs back. So we're going to come into a little downward dog position. So taking those feet all the way back. So if you ripple that weight forward, guys, you should be in a direct plane. So those shoulders should be above the wrists. Now that tummy should be in. So if you go straight up, that's your correct down dog position. So you know your feet aren't too close to yourself. You know that those hands are spread. Now you might just push the weight through that chest, so really spreading out through those shoulders. Or you might pedal out through the feet. Now I've got super, super tight hamstrings, so this is going to be my option today. And I'm just going to pedal out through those legs one at a time. Or you might just shift the weight into one leg and just hold it there for a couple of seconds, breathing into the back of the leg. If you haven't swapped them over now. My right is certainly definitely a lot tighter than my left. And then we're going to ground through the left leg, guys. So we're coming into a little bit of a yogi position here. So right leg comes up towards the ceiling. We're going to open up through that right hip. So bending through that right knee, and you can open down through that side. So keeping those hands grounded and keeping that right shoulder rolling down rather than rolling it back and open as well. So feeling that psoas open, so the front of your tummy, and also through that hip joint. Then we'll send that leg long, and we're going to step it all the way through. Okay, so we're going to come into a little high lunge. So that right leg stepped all the way through to the front of the mat. Draw it all the way in towards the chest, stepping it through. So you're coming into your high lunge. So we're really squaring off through the hips here. Now, we're not doing any movements here, don't worry. But I want you guys to concentrate on pushing that left hip down towards the floor. So really pushing it forward. So rather than sitting back and kind of releasing through those legs, sit into that lunge and really dip that hip forward. So you should feel a nice opening through that hip flexor without actually being down on that knee. Now, if you want to incorporate a little bit of a back bend or a little bit of a reach, you can take the arms over the top and just lengthen up. Send that chest nice and high as well. So you can sink into those legs. So more weight over that hip flexor. And you should really feel this, even if you're just, you know, in a regular little lunge position. So you're high on those back toes. Now, if you want to add that little arm space in there, you can release through those arms now, taking them back down. Now we're squaring off with the front of the mat again, and the hands are going to come down in front, okay? So just in front, high on those fingertips. So we're just going to warm through those hamstrings again. So we're sitting forwards in that low lunge at the moment, and then we're going to shift the weight back, okay? Now it's up to you if you peel those toes off as well, and it might just be a small movement here. So rocking back and forwards into that hamstring, into that leg. So rocking forwards from the little low lunge position, and then maybe peeling the toes off the mat. So it's standing up through that front leg. Now it doesn't have to be a big movement. It can just be small, but we're just warming through that hamstring. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll come forward, drop down through that left knee. So that left knee is connected. Sean, if this is too much, you can try putting like a pillow underneath that left knee if it's your left knee that's sore. Otherwise, alternatively, you can do these ones on your back, okay? So we're going to heel toe that foot. So he's come from the center of the mat. We're going to take him out to that right-hand side. So we're coming into our lower lunge position. So again, guys, you can take those hands down to the center of the mat. So the right foot is on the right-hand side. The hands are on the inside of the mat here. Now, this might be enough for you. You might want to stay upright. Again, that more weight over the torso means that you're opening up through those hips a little bit stronger as well. So that's a choice there. If you want to take the hands down, you might even be able to get the forearms down as well. So just really kind of sitting into that pose. And just letting those hips open a little bit deeper. Now, it feels pretty damn good. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited about this position. Feels pretty good, especially when you've been sleeping all morning, or if you guys have been in chair all week. I know I haven't necessarily been at work, but I have been sitting down a lot this week. So opening up through those hips. Alrighty, guys. So we're going to move straight into our pigeon position. Okay. So we're going to take our right hand over towards that right hand side, and we're going to heel toe that foot over to the left hand side. So lowering down through that right knee, and then we're squaring off through the front of the mat. Now, if you can keep that shin parallel. If you need to, take that heel a little bit closer towards the hip so that you're square on top, okay? Now, your option here, if you're down on your back, if you have sensitive knees, is just taking that right leg in towards the chest and coming into that little grip position of that glute stretch, okay? It's not going to be as deep, but it is your option if you have sensitive knees, okay? So squaring off through the hips as best as you can. So rather than sitting off to one side, that left side is down, that back leg is long. And then if you've got the room, guys, you can come all the way down. So really opening up through that right side, really opening up through those hips. Feels pretty nice for me personally. Might not be the best for everybody, but it's about finding the comfort and discomfort sometimes. So finding that spot where you're like, oh, I could probably stay here for a little bit, but it's kind of painful at the end. Really opening up through those seams, opening up through that fascia and everything that's holding those muscles together. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll just slowly come up from that position. So hands will be down on the floor. And then we're just going to slide that left leg forwards. Now this is a long bit on one side, but don't worry, we're going to come back to the other side. Hopefully I remember everything. All right, so that left leg has come forwards. So we're in kind of like a little, I guess, mermaid position. Now that back leg that's behind you, so that left, this is my left leg that's on that side. My left heel is flexed. So we're keeping that heel flexed to protect through that knee joint, okay? Now this might not be available for a lot of you, and that's okay. We'll give you another option in just a sec, okay? Now we're just gonna do some little side bends here. So little mermaid position. So taking the arm, so dropping down through the right arm and taking that left arm over the top. Now, if this is too much for you with that leg out to the side, you can just take both legs out in the center. You don't have to sit in the mermaid position, but we're just gonna drop down through one side and then go to the other side. So inhaling back up through center and then exhaling, going over to one side. So just getting a little bit of a lateral bend in here and then coming back through your other side, reaching that arm nice and long, swapping it over. And you can take this faster, you can take this slower, up to you. You can stay on one side more if you feel like you need to. And then if you're also in this mermaid position, guys, I want you to try and concentrate on kind of pushing that left hip back down towards the floor as well. Sometimes when we come in this position, we want to hike up through that left hip, but we just kind of want to keep it down as well, as best as you can. And then when you're ready, guys, we're going to come back through center. Now we're going to add a quad stretch in here, guys. So those of you that are able to stay in your mermaid position, we're going to tuck through those left toes, and then we're just going to very gently lower back. Now, super important with this pose, guys, we're opening up through that hip flexor as well as through that quad joint. I don't want you to feel any pain in your knee, okay? If you're feeling it in your knee, that's not the right position for you. I'm going to give you your option. So if this feels okay for you, you can come down. You might just maybe stay on the hands. That might be enough for you. Maybe you've got the forearms. Maybe you guys have got the full range to come all the way down to the floor. Just make sure if you're on your forearms that you're keeping that chin tucked in towards your chest. We're not hanging the neck back. The neck's not having an over-exaggerated extension here. Now, if this mermaid position isn't available for you, same sort of thing, but we're just going to come down onto our side. So rather than sitting into that position, we're just going to take that leg and take it behind us, okay? So I'm just grabbing hold of my foot here. Now, I want you to concentrate again on pushing open through that hip joint, okay? So opening up through that hip, you can even use resistance with this stretch. So rather than drawing the heel in towards the booty, maybe even just use resistance. So pushing that heel away and pushing it into the hand. And that hand is resisting the foot as well. So again, guys, your option. So you can take that mermaid position or you can just come down onto your side. So that's your choice. So now you might find that you might not feel it in this knee, but you might feel it in your other knee. And just playing around with the movement and you're in your mermaid position, then maybe you're ready to come up now. And you can slide all the way back up, just coming nice and safely up. So tucking that chin to the chest to protect through that neck. If you're on your side, just gently releasing through that foot and coming all the way up. Now we're going to take that left leg, if it was behind us, we're going to cross through those knees and we're going to come back into our hands and our knees. So we're coming back into that other side, guys. So we'll come back into that down dog position. So hands are down on the floor, tucking through those back toes, lifting the knees off the mat. So we're pedaling out through those heels once again. So you can pedal out one at a time down towards the floor. Maybe you can alternate the weight faster or maybe slower, taking in a little bit of a deep stretch. And then this time we're going to raise through the left leg. So left leg comes up towards the ceiling. And then I'm going to open up through that left hip. So we're bending through that left knee. And we're opening up through that psoas. We're opening up through that side of the tummy. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll send it long. And we'll step that left leg all the way forward. So remember, we're coming into our high lunge. We're coming all the way back up again. We're not staying on the floor. We're not having a little nap, coming all the way up. And I want you to sink into those legs. Remember, pushing that right hip forwards. So really opening up through that hip flexor joint as well. Now you can take the arms up towards the sky. You can incorporate a little bit of a back bend here. So reaching those arms nice and long. Or you can just stay in a neutral position. maybe you've got super tight legs or they're super sore and you want to support yourself a little bit. But we're really working, it doesn't have to be a deep stretch. So you can still stay upright quite high and then just work on pushing that hip forward. So tucking that pelvis under. So really opening up through that front of the leg. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll take those hands down towards the floor. So bend into that front knee a little bit more. Fingertips are high on the floor. We're going to come into that little hamstring movement. So shifting the weight back into the hips and then back forward into that heel. So it just can be slow, it can be fast, that's up to you. So just moving through those legs, opening them up a little bit more. So we're not going straight into a deep stretch. Maybe you want to peel those left toes off the floor when you shift the weight back, or maybe you want to keep them down, that's up to you. If you peel them off, you're going to feel it more in your hamstring. So it's completely up to you. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll come back into a little neutral position at the front. I'm going to drop down through that back knee. So we'll take that left hand on the inside of that left foot now, and we'll heel toe that foot a little bit wider. So we're coming into that low lunge position now. So remember your options. Now you can do this upright. You can do this with hands down on the floor. And again, if you need to, if you've got sensitive knees, guys, you can come down onto the floor. So your reverse lunge option is pretty much the exact same. You've just got that heel up towards the sky this time rather than facing on the floor. So you can come down onto your forearms if that's enough for you. You can stay up on your hands. And just playing around with those hips, really opening them up. So we're just giving them a bit of an extended time frame today, just because it was a main concern. Most people will kind of feel tight in their hips, tight in their hamstrings, tight in their glutes. And in turn, this pulls all on our lower back. So a lot of the time when we have lower back pain, it's for three main reasons. Reason number one, you've got tight hips. Reason number two, you've got tight hamstrings. And reason number three, you might have a weak core. So your back is protecting through that core by overworking. So something to think about. All right, guys, when you're ready, we'll come back up to hands on the floor if they're not already there. We'll take that left hand on the outside of that left foot, heel toe that foot over to the right-hand side of the mat. So we're coming down into that pigeon position. So remember, if you're on your back, just coming in for that little bind. Now that left foot is still flexed. If you need to, take it closer towards those hips. Otherwise, squaring off to that one side. You can be high on the fingertips. This might be enough for you, or you might be able to come forward, guys. Your choice, play around with the movement. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as you feel comfortable in that position. And you might feel it a bit stronger on this side, you might feel it less on this side, you might have more room, but just noticing the difference. And slowly coming all the way back up, feeling yourself off the floor. I know we'd like to all stay here forever. I know I personally would. I know it's really nice. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll just draw that back leg forwards again. So we're coming into our little mermaid position. So we're just going to do a couple of those lateral bends first. Now, if it's too uncomfortable to keep that right leg there, just take it out in front and sit cross-legged, just in an easy cross-legged position, however you feel comfortably seated. Otherwise, the right heel is flexed to protect through that knee. Best as you can, trying to ground through that right hip. So send the arms over the top and just lengthening out through the side of that body. So rather than trying to dip down, drop down through that shoulder, we're keeping that chest high and open. Now, it just might be a small movement. This might just be enough, just taking the arms over the top and just slowly working into your body for the day. Or you might just do bigger movements. You might come down, you might hang here for a couple of seconds. It doesn't have to be fast, guys. It can be nice and slow. You can add a little hold at the bottom, but just make sure you're taking care of your body. So it doesn't have to be big, guys. We'll do a couple more each side. And then when you're ready, guys, we're going to come into that center position and we're going to come back into that little quad stretch. So if you feel comfortable, right toes can tuck underneath that side. And then we're just going to slowly lower back till we find that point where we want to stop. If you've got a pillow or something handy, sometimes that can be nice to lean up on, just so you're not coming all the way down. But obviously you can always stay up on your hands. And remember, guys, your option, if this is too much for that right knee, it's a bit sensitive, come down onto that side. So all the way down, you're going to bend into that right foot and take that foot into the hand. So you're kicking away with that hand, or maybe you're drawing it in towards the body. But remember, guys, you want to feel this in the quad, not in the knee joint. So if you're feeling it in the knee joint, please come back out of that stretch. This is not the stretch for you, okay? So you might be able to get all the way down. Remember, guys, if your chest is still up like mine, I personally can't get all the way down. My chin is still tucked towards my chest, so I'm not hanging my neck back. So I want to keep it nice and safe. Like you've got a little apple underneath here and you want to hold him in. So that chest is lifted. We're lifting up out of those shoulders if we're on our elbows. And just breathing here for as long as you can. Just enjoying the pose as much as you can. Again, finding that comfort in discomfort. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll slowly come all the way back up. And then we're going to release through that, that right leg, bringing it forwards. Now we'll open up a little bit through the arms. So just coming into a little regular seated position, sending the arms nice and wide. We'll take one of the arms across the body. It doesn't matter which one it is because we'll swap it over. Hook that forearm so that arm is nice and straight, and then taking the eye gaze away from the head. So stretching out through the side of that deltoid, through the side of that shoulder. Just to 3, 2, and 1. And then we'll swap it over, guys, sending the arms nice and wide. Swap that other arm across. Hook it to the side of the body and take that eye gaze away from the hands. And then when you're ready, opening back up again, we'll interlace the hands behind the back. So taking those fingertips together. And then we're taking the palms facing one another. We're lifting those hands up and away from the body. So this might be you just getting it off the hips. And as long as you're getting it off the hips, you can even take the eye gaze up towards the ceiling if that feels nice to you. Sometimes it might feel nice just to keep that neck in a neutral position. You don't have to take it all the way up. So that is kind of feels nice to open up through the chest where we spend so much time leaning forwards, hunching forwards. Now you can even roll the neck in this position as well, maybe from side to side, maybe forward, maybe around the back, whatever feels comfortable, maybe going the other way, maybe holding in one position when you're like, oh, that's a bit tight there and I want to stay there a little bit longer. So just noticing the differences in your body, so side to side, and then gently releasing that head back into position, releasing through those arms. We'll come into a little spine decompression as well. So we'll do our little TikTok position. So hands are, feet are going to stay on the floor, knees are going to be bent, and we'll come all the way down to the mat. Keeping those feet planted on the floor, knees are up towards the ceiling. The arms can come out to a little T. So arms down by the side, and then just dropping the knees down to one side. And then we'll draw them back up through center, taking them maybe over to the right-hand side now. So the feet stay grounded, but the knees are the ones that are moving. So you're just rolling from one side to another. So if you ever have any lower back issues or your back ever goes into spasm, this is the perfect way to decompress through the lower back. It's just coming into this little neutral position. It just helps release through the back of the spine. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll add a little hold here. If you want to make it a little bit deeper, just take that opposite foot and place it on top of that. Should be your left foot on top of your right knee, or opposite depending on which way you're going. And just deepening the stretch here for another 3, 2, and 1. Then we'll release through those legs, draw those knees back up to the center. We'll swap it over. You might want to have a little hold here. This might be enough just to drop the knees down towards the side. Or you might want to place that heel on top of that opposite side. And just breathing here to the side of the leg and side of the glute. And then when you're ready, releasing through that heel, draw your legs back up to the center. Throwing those knees in towards the chest. You're just going to have a little rock here, guys. So up and along your spine. Sometimes it's nice if you've got a nice soft surface to roll up and down your spine. Sometimes it's not the most comfortable for everybody, but it is a nice little massage along that spine. And then when you're ready, we'll come back up into a little seated position. What else have we got here? We'll just add a little twist in as well, I reckon. So we'll do a glute and a rotation through the spine. Now you can stay seated, let's start with the right leg over the top of the left leg. Now if you've got a sensitive left knee, you can unhook through that bottom leg, send that left leg out in front. So that right knee can come in towards the chest. Now you've got 2 options, guys. You can either work through the glute or you can work through your rotation. So if you want to work through your rotation, ground through that right leg, same on both sides, and you're going to take that left arm up, hook that elbow, and then we're going to twist away from that away to the right hand side. That right hand comes behind and we're sitting up nice and tall. So we're creating that length, that space through the spine. And we're actually physically pushing ourselves away. Now, if you want to work more through the glute, you're going to draw that right knee in towards the chest as you twist. You might not be able to get as much as the twist, but you'll still feel it in that right side, so in through that glute. So it's up to you. Sometimes a nice big twist feels good across the sternum, across through the abdominal muscles as well. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll come back through center and we'll de-rotate to the other side. Just to decompress through that spine, we'll de-rotate. And then we'll swap it straight over. So unravel through those legs, opposite leg and comes down. So it should be your right leg that's on the floor now, left leg coming over the top. If your right leg is down, you've got that sensitive knee, unhook through that leg. Grounding down through that left-hand side, taking that right hand up towards the ceiling, stretching it nice and long, hooking through that right knee. If you want to come into the stretch, remember sitting up nice and tall so that left hand comes behind. And then just incorporating that twist, so turning away. Now, if you'd like to incorporate more of a glute, you can draw that knee in instead. You're not going to get as much of a twist, but it'll still feel pretty nice. So pushing yourself away and open. So using that elbow into that knee that's grounded. So that foot's grounded, that's not moving. We're using that elbow to push through that mid-thoracic and also through that lower back. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll come back through center, de-rotate to the other side. And then we'll unravel through the legs. We'll come down onto our tummy for one last stretch. So cross through the hands and knees and we'll come all the way down. Now we're going to work through the psoas, so through the front of the tummy first. So it's kind of like a back bend, but the opposite way. So we're going to take our hips down towards the floor. Hands are going to be out in front here. Now we're not working on our triceps, so don't worry. Feet can be separated or feet can be mat width distance apart. What I want you to incorporate on keeping those hips connected to the floor. So the hip bones, try not to lift them off. Try and keep that lower abdomen area pressed down onto the floor. Take the palms, press them down onto the mat or the floor, carpet, whatever you have, and then just slowly press that chest off. So keeping those hips connected and pressing that chest up will open up through that inner seam. So that linea alba, that line that goes down the center of your stomach. Now, if you do a lot of ab workouts with me, you might feel this quite deeply. If you've got a super squishy tummy, you might be able to get a little bit more range. But just working to your best ability. So if you've got more room, push yourself up. You can keep yourself in a neutral position with that chin. So rather than cocking the neck all the way back again, and then just opening up through the front of that chest. Maybe with a little bit more room, you might, with a little bit more time, you might get a little bit more room. So with every muscle, it does take a little while to open up. And then when you're ready, guys, slowly coming all the way back down. Now we're going to come into a little chest stretch. So you can leave your arms at a cactus if you would like a deeper stretch. Otherwise, taking the arms out to a T. So arms in line with the shoulders. Taking the right side of the face down to the mat, leaving that right hand where it is. Take the left hand down by the side of the body. We're going to roll that left leg up and over behind that right side. Now, maybe that left leg just drops down behind that right hand side. Maybe you can get that left knee up towards the ceiling, or maybe you can get both knees up depending on your rotation. So a little spinal twist, also a little shoulder stretch as well. So just be kind to your body. If you've got your arms in little cactus shape, then you're not going to be able to move as far, but it'll be a deeper stretch through that shoulder. And then when you're ready, guys, we'll slowly roll back through center and we'll swap the sides over. So left hand can come out to the left-hand side, right hand then comes into the side of the chest. We're going to push ourselves out towards that left-hand side. Maybe that right leg just goes a little bit further back. Maybe that knee comes up towards the ceiling. Just a little bit of a rotation here. And then when you're ready, we'll come back onto our tummies, coming back. Take those hands down by the side of the mat and then press yourself up and back in a shell stretch. So hips come all the way down to the feet. Forehead comes down. Now your knees can be wide, your knees can be together. That's your choice. And just maybe wiggling through those hips. Maybe keeping that body nice and low. We might incorporate a little side bend here as well. So taking those hands and walking them down and over towards that left-hand side. So you'll feel this down through the right side of the body. So really reaching that right arm as long as you can. Eye gaze down towards the floor. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, staying nice and low, walk those hands over to the other side. That left arm is nice and long, drop down through that eye gaze. And then when you're ready, coming back through center, tuck, chin to chest, come all the way up. And we'll do one last spinal twist to finish, guys. So you can send the legs out in front. Nice and long legs, flexing through those heels. We'll sit up nice and tall to begin with. We'll fold forwards. So leaning forwards with that chest, leaning forwards with that chin, and just grabbing hold of whatever feels comfortable for you here. so into the back of the legs to begin with. Now you don't have to reach the toes. That's not the end game here. Remember, you can have a little bend in your knees. They don't have to be perfectly flat on the floor. And then slowly rolling all the way up, sending those arms out nice and long, and then slowly curving through the spine. So scooping through the belly, chin tucks to chest, and rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Nice and low with control. Throwing that right knee in towards the chest, give that right knee a little hug. Squeeze, take the right knee across the body over to that left-hand side. Right knee makes connection with the floor first before opening up through that right arm. Option for the eye gaze to follow. And then just breathing here into your little twist for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drawing that right knee back up in towards the chest with that right knee squeeze, swapping it over. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Left knee gets a squeeze. Taking that left knee all the way across to the side, guys. Left knee makes connection before opening up to that left arm option to take the eye gaze. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw that left knee back up in towards the chest. Give that left knee a squeeze. Take the right knee in as well. Give yourself a little hug. Give yourself side to side, back and forth. And then when you're ready, guys, you can come all the way into your seated position. You guys are all done for today. 9 o'clock. Time flies when you're having fun. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, please feel free to pop it in the little chat section. Otherwise, happy Saturday, guys. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day, a beautiful weekend. And I will see you guys Monday night, 5:30 for my next Pilates class, if you would like to join. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. There's birds singing, I know. They're noisy. Thanks, Liam.